Astonishing. I was led to believe that most of you aristocrats were insolvent.
Christian stifled a cringe at this uncouth talk of funds. The man had every right to believe that, and there was a bit of truth to it. Almost every eligible noble in London had been clamoring for one of his daughters. Rothschild, not sterling any longer since he had come to accept his position as Duke, had ensnared the elder daughter already, though their engagement had not yet been announced.
I consolidated some years back when I inherited. The family seat in Sussex and my home in Belgravia are in working order.
Though they were in desperate need of repairs, since the rents at Amberley Park barely covered the minimum needed to keep the place running.
Well then, that's commendable.
Crenshaw took another sip of his drink.
Might I ask why you require funds? I own a small estate in Scotland, Blythekirk. I inherited it on my mother's side, and it holds sentimental value. There was a fire recently, so it requires extensive refurbishment.
Years of practice made his tone sound benign. There was no hint of the fact that the home had been his refuge from a father intent on making his life hell, that its near loss had opened a well of pain that he would rather not face. The older man grinned, as if he did not quite believe a mere estate could be worth a wife.
Her settlement will provide for more than that, my lord.
Christian inclined his head in acknowledgement of that fact.
Indeed, it will. I am certain to make good use of it. While I am not insolvent, my ancestral estate, Amberley Park, drains my income. There are improvements I would make there. Furthermore, there are several investments I am interested in procuring. For one, I have a stake in...
Before he could elaborate, Crenshaw said,
I am going to stop you there, my lord. As you are aware, I am a man of industry. As such, it is not enough that I find my daughter a suitable match, but that I look out for the interests of Crenshaw Ironworks in the process. To be very honest, there are more men who can fulfill the former than the latter.
Christian stared at the man. The rules of matrimonial negotiations were a bit outside his purview, given that he had never considered obtaining a wife before Blythekirk's devastation, having been content to allow the earldom to pass to a distant relative. But he was almost certain that the bride's best interest should at least slightly outweigh those of a business.
Are you saying that you need a candidate who can bring business ventures to Crenshaw Ironworks? That's it precisely. The ideal would be someone who meets with our Violet's approval, of course, but can present opportunities for Crenshaw Iron's expansion. Now that we are in the beginnings of setting up operations here, well, the world is open to us.
His hands skated through the air in a smooth glide, mimicking the opening of a presumed gateway to the world. His eyes fairly glittered with greed.
Like Rothschild.
Christian knew that the main reason Crenshaw had encouraged and even pursued Rothschild's interest had been because of his title and the doors that title could open in Parliament. Being related to a duke willing to speak on Crenshaw's behalf would give the company nearly unfettered access to the railways being constructed in India. Crenshaw's gaze narrowed. No one outside of the family was supposed to know that Rothschild had followed their elder daughter August to America. Christian, however, had been with Rothschild when he had made his mad dash to the Crenshaw's rented townhome off Grosvenor Square to propose, only to find his beloved ready to set sail. He had followed her to Liverpool and boarded her ship just in time. The ship was still en route, meaning no one knew how that had turned out, though Christian would guess the couple would wed very soon.
Yes, like the Duke. I have influence with my seat in the House of Lords,
said Christian, even as a hollow was opening up in his belly. He did not like the direction of this conversation. Crenshaw was a shrewd man. Access to Parliament granted, he would be looking for another advantage.
Of course, my lord, and that is not inconsequential.
A note of consolation had crept into Crenshaw's voice. The hair at the back of Christian's neck bristled. He was about to be refused.
We are very flattered by your interest. But you have another offer.
A better offer. Christian clenched his jaw so hard that his molars ached. He did not intend to lose Violet to another man. She had fascinated him from their first meeting. If he was forced to consider a wife, then it would be her.